Lucy is just in my mind, she's just a girl who is living in Taipei, maybe doing a little bit of modeling or, kind of odd jobs here and there. She's a student. And she's, been away from home for 6 months, and she's just, kind of in a transient phase in her life when we find her. And, she's kind of figuring out who she is, and she's feeling a little bit like she should probably get her life on track. And that's kind of all we know about her when we find her. We shot in Taipei for about 2.5 or 3 weeks, and I really loved filming in that city. I just loved being able to explore that city, and I think in some ways, just the fact that we were all so tired and jet lagged and out of our element really added to the kind of the disorientation of the character, and what's kind of the place that she's coming out of when she sort of starts to be affected um, by this drug. I think the film is it's what happens to this young woman. It's a very, she's put in these sort of extenuating circumstances, I would say, that really, through a kind of brutal series of events, lead her to be able to use a greater and greater capacity of her brain. And it's really kind of, I think she's just a vessel for that to take place, really. That's what it's about. It was wonderful working with Troy. He's a you know formidable co-star in the sense. I mean, we didn't speak the same language, but we could communicate very much with our expression. He's a very warm person, it seems. So even though we were doing scenes that were really violent and cold and brutal, he's so enigmatic, his presence, that it was, we could kind of communicate just, in a kind of spiritual sort of a way. For me, just to prepare for this film, I wanted to be in really good physical condition because I just wanted to make sure that this character looked capable, even though you don't actually see her, doing any kind of martial arts movements or anything like that. I want the audience should be able to think, okay, this girl can handle a gun. And a lot of the movements that I do in character are with a lot of intention and purpose, and I wanted those movements to feel strong. So when you see her, how she stands, how she maneuvers, it's with a lot of kind of inner strength, and so that just comes from being physically capable. I only wanted to be aware of what Luke had intended this character to be aware of, her capacity, how as she grows, how her this growing capacity affects her intelligence, her ability, what she sees, what she's experiencing. I didn't want that to be, this to be muddled by anything that was nothing that my character would know. These things are kind of happening to her, but she's not previously aware of what this next step is. She's just kind of evolving as it happens.